Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you heard, but there's a new podcast entirely dedicated to entrepreneurship. If you are a passionate entrepreneur or even someone who loves the process, the game, and especially the fucking grind, then this is your podcast, guys. This is John Limdimas, your host, and signing in. Let's fucking go. What's up, guys? John Limdimas here, and here's another new fucking amazing and inspirational episode of the Hustle Factory podcast show. Let me make this short and sweet, ladies and gents. Today I'll be recreating, or should I say reimagining, one of the older episodes I recorded last year. Anyways, I want to go ahead and recreate this old episode where I discuss different misconceptions of entrepreneurship. Plus, I knew that old episode I kind of did a terrible job on it. But hey, this is no time for me bitching about where I fucked up or messed up. So why don't we get this new episode started, shall we? Let me start by asking you guys a question. How many of you guys have heard of people saying all the damn time that entrepreneurship is just another quick rich scheme, no ROI back, a huge scam, or perhaps a waste of time? Wherever it is, you are not fucking alone. I'm for sure that there are hundreds, but thousands of people claiming that different misconception of entrepreneurship every single fucking time. Well, I'm here today to prove all of these dumbasses yet misinformed group of people by stating the three biggest misconceptions I keep hearing from this so-called expert about entrepreneurship. Well, let's get this new episode rolling out with the first misconception of entrepreneurship. And wow, this group of people truly fucking believe you'll become fucking rich as hell with entrepreneurship. When I started my journey as an entrepreneur, I started with the wrong mindset. That is, I want to get fucking rich as hell as possible. At first, I thought this is the best way to think about entrepreneurship, but boy, I was dead fucking wrong, guys. There's one person who made me change this terrible mindset, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is after watching one of the videos of Gary Vaynerchuk stating that people who pursue their passion just for the money. And I'll go ahead and plan to create an episode entirely dedicated to this topic because this is actually a very interesting stuff to talk about, especially for entrepreneurship, guys. Anyways, getting to the main point of this misconception is, when this group of people believe that entrepreneurship will get them fucking rich as hell, maybe it will work, but it's fucking far from the sure thing. The real problem here, ladies and gentlemen, is the people who often believe this misconception is the one who actually done this before, and at the end of the day, they kind of failed, and they kind of ended up crawling back to their depressing 9-to-5 job. Kind of sucks, right? Now, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur like me, and you're doing this solely to get rich, then guess what? You already fucking failed. Besides, real entrepreneurs are the ones who watch the world becoming mavericks of themselves, fucking building a plan, and execute this shit like a fucking boss. Throughout my journey as an entrepreneur, I've learned a very important statistic that will shock the hell out of you guys. Did you know that 80 to 90% of startup businesses fail for two reasons? One is they're chasing the money before they even build a business, or they never had a plan to begin with. Ridiculous, right? I've also remembered watching once about this one famous entrepreneur. I couldn't really remember what's his name and all that, but that was a long time ago. That riches and wealth are a byproduct of a solid structure of smart entrepreneurship, not by result, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get to fucking daydream about your bank account getting deposited with huge amounts of money every day. And you know what? Some of the aspiring entrepreneurs or even successful people I genuinely know aren't even that fucking rich. Matter of fact, they're fucking hustling and grinding their asses off every single fucking day so that someday their fucking hard work will finally pay off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the first misconceptions of entrepreneurship, and that is, you'll get fucking rich as hell. This is a fucking no for me, guys. Now, you guys are gonna love this next misconception. When people say they wish they can set their hours, it only means one thing, and that is, they wish they don't have to work at all. Crazy, right? In other words, laziness. A very huge turnoff for entrepreneurship. While setting your hours sounds like an amazing idea, that doesn't mean that whatever what they are thinking is true. A huge majority of people are so fucking misinformed about entrepreneurs today. They truly believe that aspiring entrepreneurs like me, or even big time entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk, can just work whenever the hell they want and for how long they want. I mean, 3 hours of work before a day of leisure? Yeah, right. This is just simply 100% fucking not true. Just know that once you start building your own business, you'll soon start realize just how fucking ridiculous it is. Yes, you can indeed set your own hours, and it is solely depends on how much success you want to achieve. So if your ultimate goal is to have financial freedom, then you better be fucking prepared for a long struggle. So bitching around is completely unacceptable on this long run for your journey. Do you know what I noticed, ladies and gentlemen? People who truly believe in these misconceptions are the one who often play some NBA 2K, or perhaps even hang out on the beach after field calls in the morning. And no, I'm not talking shit to the streamers out there and all that, because that's a different whole new story, because they actually do what they love to do. They're just fucking around too much and wasting their time. Most of the successful people I know, they're investing so much time than those 9-to-5ers who still genuinely believe that entrepreneurship is a get rich quick scheme. I just have one thing to say to this group of people: go fuck yourself and educate yourself. Although, if you guys still insist that being an entrepreneur means you're not 100% accountable to that time, then you're fucking making a huge mistake. To me, my schedule is always uptight and religiously time and invest. Alright guys, I would like to present you guys the final misconception of this episode, and this is one of those misconceptions that drives me fucking crazy. And I'll tell you why in a few minutes. Nothing could be further from the straight fucking truth, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, this podcast alone was produced and started by a 27-year-old guy who just happened to be not exactly what would you call someone who has an amazing grades in school and even at college. Still not convinced? Well, let me put it more frankly then, guys. The iPhone that you're using at this very moment right now, hopefully while listening to this episode, was designed by a college dropout. The social media that we use almost every single fucking day was created by another college dropout as well. Now, I can keep going forever naming different successful people who happen to be a college dropout in this world. Now, I'm 100% aware that there are different people and different opinions to this misconception, and I get that, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get fucking real here for a few minutes, guys. I know some successful people that are either a college dropout or just never did well in college at all. Now, don't get me wrong. I genuinely fucking believe that having a business degree has some pros and cons as well. I mean, I graduated with an associate's in business degree at South Florida State College back in 2013. And you know what? As soon as I started my journey as an entrepreneur, that means that kind of somehow give me a bit of this advantage back then, knowing some few, technical business terms and so on. And at the same time, having a business degree didn't do jack shit during those years. And this is a bit of controversial as well because, like I said before, there are different people out there who have different opinions about it. So here you go. You just simply can't fucking teach entrepreneurship in a classroom, and that's what exactly separates the real entrepreneurs from those fake ass entrepreneurs. And if I recall correctly, I did a episode on about some few things that the classroom wouldn't teach you about entrepreneurship. So I'll go and let you guys know about that in a few. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not realize it yet, but that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. There is no such thing as only one way to success. You can start by being the smartest person in the entire class with the highest grades and so on. Yet at the end of the day, you ended up working on a job that you miserably fucking hate so much. For me to wrap up this episode, I would like to address the most crucial point of this episode. So make sure to tune into this one. Here's the most crucial point for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. First off, entrepreneurship is not about being fucking glamorous, being famous, not trying to be a Kim Kardashian or whatever, and you guys just don't realize that it's not fucking easy as you think it is, guys. I know for a fact that ever since I started my journey of becoming an entrepreneur, I already knew what I signed up for, and I already knew at that very moment it's not going to be an easy grind for me because I knew entrepreneurship is a very challenging route to take. I knew the risks and downs of it, and I happily accepted this challenge because I will never back down for any challenge, especially if what I'm doing at this very moment is something I'm very passionate about. Yes, when it comes to entrepreneurship, it takes a shitload amount of fucking hard work, perseverance, dedication, planning, inspiration, and especially a huge amount of grind and hustle, ladies and gentlemen. So guys, if you're aiming to become an entrepreneur, please never give up and keep grinding there like a boss, and eventually all of those hard work will finally pay off. Well, that's the end of another amazing episode of the Hustle Factory podcast show, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, I'm very thankful for everyone for taking the time to listen to in today's episode. I really enjoy creating this kind of content on my podcast because it lets me share my value to the rest of the world and so on. So if you enjoy and love listening to this podcast, it'll be awesome if you guys can support this aspiring podcast by donating through the Anchor app or website. It could be like really any amount starting from 99 cents, $4.99, and hey, to be generous, maybe $9.99. Plus, by supporting my podcast, you are helping me create more amazing and motivational, inspirational content through this podcast. And you know what? If you find this episode inspiring and motivational, it will be awesome if you guys can drop an honest review on iTunes, or to make it simple, just if you're listening through the Anchor app, you can go and leave a voice message through there. As always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to follow us back on our social media networks. You can go ahead and check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and on our Facebook page as well on the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. Look us up there and make sure to follow us there so you don't miss out any important news and updates about this podcast, especially if I'm about to drop some new episodes of the show. And hey, don't forget that the Hustle Factory Podcast is now on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. This is such an amazing, huge step to take on, and I didn't realize that there's some amazing potential audience I can reach out there. Anyways, every new episode will be uploaded as well on YouTube. So if you guys prefer to watch it on the video format rather than listening through it. So anyways, if you're listening or watching this episode on YouTube, it will mean a world to me if you guys can go ahead and hit that subscribe button below, and don't forget to drop that big fat thumbs up on the video and turn on that notification on as well, so that way you don't miss out any new episodes on this podcast alone. So did this episode get you inspired or motivated somehow, guys? Go ahead and share this episode to everyone you know and spread the word about my podcast. It's just another podcast where I discuss some of my inspirational and motivational motivational insights of entrepreneurship, and so much more. Different rants. And don't you guys worry, I'll keep coming up with some of that more amazing content on the long run. Other than that, guys, what are some of your thoughts on this episode? Which of these misconceptions surprised you the most? Vice versa wise, which one of these misconceptions do you hear often? Well, whatever your thoughts are, make sure to go ahead and put your thoughts on the comments below, whether on social media or perhaps on our YouTube channel, so we can start a discussion there. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next episode. John Lim Demons, signing out.